Hey guys, I just want to make a quick video about this scheme by the UK government to provide 50% off meals on Mondays through Wednesdays in the month of August as a mode of economic recovery, or an economic recovery plan. And do I think it's a stupid idea? Yeah. Am I gonna take advantage of the idea? Yes. Why wouldn't you? But so in case you've been living under a rock, the economy isn't too great at the moment. There's a 20% recession, which is unheard of even in war times. When the UK got the shit bombed out of it in like the 40s by some Germans. It's never this bad. So yeah, but the plan is to just throw money at the problem, hope it goes away. And obviously through the furlough scheme and a lot of other social programs, the government's already racked up an absolute shit ton of debt, adding on to the deficit they normally run year on year, even though they're trying to have austerity. It's not looking great economically speaking, but I guess the plan of Boris and his cabinet is to have, as he said, a Rooseveltian approach. Just go all in, spend a lot on more infrastructure and stuff, and hope that it, in the long run, it boosts the economy enough to pay everything back eventually. That's not going to happen. In order to pay back all this stuff, it's gonna, just from this year, in addition to a normal deficit, it's probably gonna be over 100 billion, and you'd have to have quite a big bounce back to ever realistically pay that off, in addition to I think it's around about 100% of GDP debt, government debt that the government already has. And of course, these are just the numbers about it. But obviously, the moral side to it is, well, it's not really the government's money to spend, is it? The government has no money; it's all the taxpayers' money, and they're going to spend it without everyone's consent, whereas it always happens, of course, in pretty much every country. They steal your money through taxation, they spend it without your consent, and then they spend more than they stole from you in the first place, and so then they're going to have to steal more from you. It's funny that, isn't it? Yeah, and everyone seems to be alright with it. They say, oh, it's just a social contract, you by being born, you magically sign up to this, let the government take away 20, 30, 40% of whatever you earn, and spend it, and then spend some more, and then ask you for even more. And if you refuse, you go to jail. If you refuse to go to jail, you presumably get killed. So yeah, it is theft. That old saying that taxation is theft is pretty much true. But so that's the moral side of it, really. I think it's gonna happen. Just moaning about it isn't gonna make that scheme stop. The Tories have an 80-seat majority. They can do what they want. They can spend what they want. But another thing that happens, when you do loads of spending, is unless you find a way to borrow and borrow and borrow, at some point you're gonna have to end up printing money. And when you print money, that's where inflation happens, because by printing more money, you're not magically making more goods and services appear into, the amount of goods and services in the country or in the world even, it stays the same, it's unchanged by that, but there's more money, and so that money's going to be worth less. That's just how it happens. And these are getting to conditions where, if the government isn't really, really, really careful, there's going to be hyperinflation. And of course, the alternative to hyperinflation is having a colossal amount of debt. And you can say, oh, well, you can just defer it forever, but you still have to make interest payments on those loans, or else, they default, and then again, your currency gets super devalued, inflation kicks in, and you're back to Venezuela or the Weimar Republic again. Yeah, we are really living on borrowed time, one way or another, yeah. So I'm not super optimistic about the future, certainly in a macroeconomic sense, but the fact that like this, all these schemes, they're out there at the moment. Like I said, you can't do anything about it by objecting to them being there on a moral level. They don't just disappear, So while they're there, it's pragmatic to just make the most of it, enjoy a somewhat decent quality of life while you have it, guys. It just makes sense. Go out, enjoy it. Because if you don't, other people are going to, and you're still going to have to pay it back because everything's collectivized. But yeah, I've just become really, really black-pilled, honestly, about the way the government's running the economy and stuff, the way we're doing it, the way they're doing everything, really. Like this Rooseveltian approach, the way he talks about it, the way Boris talks about it, it's like, it does have some appeal, but obviously you have to be really careful. The things we're spending it on, they need to permanently, or at least semi-permanently, increase GDP in order to, pay for themselves. And this Eat Out to Help Out scheme, it's going to be 13 days in August, and then it'll be back to normal. And I don't know about you guys, but like me, I'll probably eat out a lot more in August, and then September I won't eat out much. It'll be same again. So I guess the hope is that some people sort of get in the habit of going to eat out and stuff, and then it'll be a self-sustaining boost, permanent boost to the hospitality industry. But I think like the payoff of that is going to be so marginal. I guess honestly at this point you just got to try and not think about it too much. Just enjoy what you're doing, enjoy your life. Try and find happiness and build towards some kind of future for yourself. Because in the big picture, I'm not very optimistic. So yeah. Sorry it's a bit of a downer video, guys, but the sun's out, so it's, things could be worse. Honestly, I'd advise trying to invest your money in something like gold, because there's quite a high risk of inflation coming soon, because we are in, metaphorically speaking and literally speaking, the summer. There's huge government overspending, keeping everyone afloat, but it can't last forever. After a while, this train the economy is just gonna fly off a cliff, unless, I think it might not be a big cliff, but it could be a pretty nasty one. It could really damage the train, I guess you could say. So I think that's about it. It's just something to be aware of, I guess, that this is unsustainable. And have a nice day, guys. Try and enjoy all the schemes while we've got them, because I could see some really awful austerity coming in soon, which austerity paired with high taxation, which is just kind of grim. So that would suck. But anyway, I'm starting to go on a bit of a ramble here. So all right. I'll have to end it here. So see you guys.